5:30.
Good evening, I'm Justin Case. It's been a chilly day all across the mountains, and this weekend will be no different. Many of you will wake up to snow on the ground. WYMT Chief Meteorologist Andrew Dockery is tracking how much you might see. Andrew?
Yeah, Justin, you said it best, and we're already seeing some impacts. Many people sending us photos on social media of cloud cover moving in, and those clouds, as you can see on satellite radar, working in from the west ahead of our next system. Now, that next system already impacting many people in Missouri, now in Illinois, as some of the snow totals really up to 4 inches now across portions of Missouri at this time. It's falling at an inch per hour as you work near St. Louis, and that's why they're under a winter storm warning. And if we take a look at the latest image, this just taken, and it's updated every hour, you'll notice it is whiteout conditions, visibility very low there. We're not going to be that serious, but we will be on the southern tier of this and still expect a winter weather advisory until noon on your Saturday. The only time frame where it doesn't go till noon, that's Rowan County. It goes until 4 o'clock for you. We'll continue to keep you updated on that. Temperatures, they're at 34 degrees, 32 in Pikeville, and will continue to drop. It's not going to be a matter of if the snow will stick. The ground is certainly cold enough. The air temperatures, they'll be cold enough. It's just, when does the snow arrive? Latest thoughts here from the WYMT Weather Center, 12 to 2 a.m. for a good chunk of the Cumberland Valley. It starts at 1 to 3 a.m. for the Kentucky River region. And for everyone else, especially up to the north and in the Big Sandy, Justin, that's 2 to 5 a.m. We'll have a full look at your morning commute and what you can expect when all is said and done after this system.
Andrew, thank you. Earlier this week, we told you that visitor access had been restricted at the state capitol in Frankfort. Governor Bevin made the move in an executive order citing overflow crowds during last year's legislature. The debate over the new security measures heated up again today on the House floor. Hillary Thornton reports from Frankfort.
The first week of the 2019 General Assembly is complete. The Senate getting to work on multiple bills, some already passing floor votes. The House seeing plenty of discussion on various topics. However, no bill votes in that chamber through day 4.
We got a lot of freshmen, a lot of new people in the body that I think it's been very wise to get off to a slower start this time.
The topic many keeping tabs on, not yet brought up, is pension reform. The top Republican in the House, Speaker David Osborne, asked today if the Republican caucus has reached an agreement on what a pension bill will include.
No.
And Speaker Osborne says pension reform is something that will take a lot of cooperation, education, and negotiations. He says it's something that they don't want to rush.
It's certainly not my hope or preference that we don't have one before we leave, but I think that we have to be realistic.
Minority Leader Rocky Adkins says Democratic members stand united in their belief that 2013 and 2008 reforms are working, and hope if pension reform does happen this session, that it is a bipartisan effort.
There needs to be the stakeholders at the table, and there needs to be compromise in this process as we move forward. The minority party wants a seat at the table.
Leaders did announce today the formation of a public pension working group made up of lawmakers from both sides of the aisle, tasked with analyzing the pension systems and making recommendations for any changes. Hillary Thornton, WYMT Mountain News.
The session is now on break for a few weeks. Lawmakers return to Frankfort on February 5th. Timothy Madden, the man accused of kidnapping, raping, and killing 7-year-old Gabby Doolin in 2015, appeared in Allen Circuit Court Friday. A new Commonwealth's attorney is prosecuting the case. Corey Morgan won the November election. Deadlines were set for motions in the case. Madden will be back in court May 3rd, with trial still scheduled for September. We are learning more about how a teenager escaped 3 months after she was kidnapped. Investigators say Jamie Kloss came up to a person walking the dog to ask for help after escaping the place where she was being held. Her parents were shot to death in their home back in October. Police arrested Jake Patterson in the case. Law enforcement officials say after months of searching for Kloss, it was an emotional moment when they say she was found alive.
My legs started to shake, man. It was awesome. It was just the stress and relief.
Patterson is in jail on kidnapping and homicide charges. Investigators say the unemployed man did not have a criminal record in Wisconsin. A California police officer, Natalie Corona, was only on the job for a few weeks. The 22-year-old completed training in December while working on a crash. Police say someone opened fire and killed her. She is being remembered as the cop that any community would want. The suspect was later found dead in a house near the shooting. A teenaged suspect charged in her stepmother's death is set to stand trial in just a few weeks, but her attorney is trying to prevent a Boyle County Circuit Court jury from hearing the case. 17-year-old Jenna Oakley is charged with complicity to commit murder in Rhonda Oakley's death in September of 2016. As WYMT's Phil Pendleton reports, a judge is considering having the case moved back to juvenile court.
Jenna Oakley was 15 when her stepmother, Rhonda Oakley, was found dead in their Junction City home. She was charged with complicity to commit murder. She is supposed to stand trial just a few months shy of her 18th birthday. And today in court, her attorney asked that the case be pushed back to juvenile court.
And Montgomery and Miller talk about the fact that we don't throw away children because they're innately rehabilitatable.
The teenager's attorney says the guilt or innocence of 17-year-old Jenna Oakley does not need to be decided by an adult court. She is charged in connection with her stepmother's murder in September of 2016. She was later found with a 20-year-old in New Mexico. Police say they went there after the murder. Now, just a few weeks before the high-profile case goes to trial, her attorney has filed what's called a transfer statute motion.
We fix kids, and the juvenile court fixes kids, and the juvenile court is supposed to protect kids. And the juvenile court in this case did not protect Jenna and did not consider rehabilitating her.
Now, this morning's hearing was originally scheduled for 9 o'clock this morning, but it was pushed back until 1:30. There was a lot of activity going on in and around the judge's chambers. We're not exactly sure what was taking place. Relatives do tell us that Jenna Oakley was having some emotional issues. In Boyle County, Phil Pendleton, now back to you.
The judge says he would rule on the motions Tuesday. He says the trial is set to begin on January 23rd. After days of back and forth over President Trump's decision to pull American troops out of Syria, a U.S. military spokesman confirmed the process has started but would not reveal specific timetables or movements. There are 2,000 American troops in the country. President Trump declared in December they would be brought home because ISIS was defeated. The president said this week soldiers will be leaving at a proper pace while continuing to fight the terror group. Now at 3 weeks, the government does not appear to be any closer to reopening. Meanwhile, about 800,000 federal workers are not getting paychecks this week. At a roundtable with 2 Democratic senators in Virginia, federal workers spoke about feeling the pinch of the partial government shutdown. Justice Department Attorney Brian Aholick says the shutdown delayed him from adding his infant daughter to his medical plan.
Relented after a number of days, but as a result of that, my daughter went several days without me being able to pick up, some medication for her.
The National Air Traffic Controllers Association has filed a lawsuit against the federal government over non-payment of its workers during the shutdown. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, new numbers show just how many people are already sick with the flu this year. Tips to keep the virus away. And in your money report soon, you will have a better idea of what all is in your beer. Well, at least one kind of beer.
Coming up tonight at 6, people come together to remember and mourn on Officer Scotty Hamilton Day.